Hi, I'm Monica Humple, and this is part of a series I'm doing specifically for the unfaithful spouse in the hopes that perhaps getting to know a little bit more about what your betrayed spouse is going through could help heal your relationship. So in this video, we're going to talk a little bit about social media. I wanted to do this video because I have a Facebook group, if you're not aware, of betrayed wives. And quite a number of posts come through of betrayed wives who are very hurt and frustrated, and their anxiety has been piqued because their unfaithful spouse is continuing to look at beautiful women on Instagram, heart their pictures, comment on things, watch videos on YouTube, things like that. And the betrayed spouse is understandably worried. It piques their anxiety. It makes them very uncomfortable. And then when they bring this up to their spouse oftentimes, based on these posts I read, become very defensive, start saying, I'm not a child, I'm not doing anything wrong, what's wrong with commenting, what's wrong with, I just liked a picture, what's the big deal? So I want to explain to you kind of what the big deal is. When we are betrayed, we feel incredibly, we feel rejected. We don't feel like we're enough for our spouse any longer. We feel like we're not pretty enough, smart enough, young enough, fit enough, thin enough. I mean, you name it. Okay? And it doesn't matter what the affair partner looks like. It's all about how we start to see ourselves based on this rejection for another person. When an unfaithful spouse begins looking or commenting on especially attractive people's posts, accepting friend requests from attractive people or hearting attractive photos or commenting on attractive people's posts or things like that, regardless of whether they are being flirtatious or not. All that does is steep the insecurity of your betrayed spouse. Now, I will say this, and I mean this. Insecurity is nobody's problem but the person who holds the insecurity. If I feel insecure, it's my job to figure out how to not feel insecure. However, after someone has found out about the affair, when the betrayal is fresh and new, it is impossible for someone to pull their self-esteem out of the trash at that moment. They need to be on their healing journey before they can start working on their self-esteem. They need to get through part of their grief process. I mean, it is a process. So for an unfaithful spouse to be utilizing social media in a way to appreciate attractive people, that really challenges the betrayed spouse in their healing process. Now, if you're watching this, I'm making a grand assumption that you know that they're hurting and you know they're struggling and you really, really, really want them to heal. You want them to be happy and you want to heal your relationship. And if that is the case, I recommend strongly that you refrain from accepting attractive people's friend requests. If you get spam messages on Facebook or Instagram from I say inappropriate, but attractive people wanting you to connect with them or whatever, that you show your spouse, you be very transparent and delete them immediately. You refrain from hearting and or commenting on attractive people's posts. I would hope a focus for any unfaithful spouse when they're trying to heal their marriage is their spouse, not other people. Just understand what that does to a person who's been devastated and who's really struggling with their self-esteem and struggling with how they look, struggling with, not really trusting themselves anymore, wondering, was I just stupid that I didn't know they were having an affair? I mean, I promise you, there are so many things going on in the mind and in the heart of your spouse as they try to recover from this affair. The last thing they need is to still be concerned that you're looking at other people to be with and you're still not focused on them. Try to lean your focus into your spouse and not on other people on social media. That's why your spouse gets upset or frustrated. And that really could help a great deal for you to turn your focus on healing your relationship instead of turning your focus on other people on social media. Give that a try. See if that helps.